So you think you know brand strategy? Think again. The old rulebook hasn't just been updated, AI has completely rewritten it. In this explainer, we're going to dive into the 5 new rules you absolutely have to know to stay in the game. And I'm not exaggerating here. You know those huge mass market campaigns that build empires? Well, they're getting completely outmaneuvered by hyper-targeted AI-driven strategies. There's a fundamental shift happening, and if you're not paying attention, you're not just falling behind, you're basically becoming invisible. And this is exactly why it's so urgent. A staggering 91% of successful brands are already using AI in their marketing. This isn't some experimental tech for a few edgy companies anymore. No way. It's the new cost of entry. The question is no longer if you should adopt AI, but how fast you can integrate it. And the stakes? They couldn't be higher. We are talking about a projected $800 billion in value that AI is expected to add to the marketing industry by 2030. To put that into perspective for you, that's more than the entire GDP of some countries. So this isn't about tweaking campaigns. It's a massive economic transformation. Okay, so how exactly are the top brands pulling this off? Well, it really comes down to 5 core strategies that are fundamentally changing the game. Think of this as your new playbook for winning in the age of AI. First up, hyper-personalization. For years, personalization just meant putting a customer's first name in an email. AI blows that completely out of the water. Imagine having a personal shopper for every single one of your customers all at the same time. That's the level of one-to-one experience we're talking about now. And here's how it all works. First, you've got behavioral analysis, where AI is looking at every single touch point, not just basic demographics. Then it uses that insight to serve up dynamic content, the right product, the right message at the exact right time. And finally, predictive engagement. This is where the real magic happens. It's anticipating what a customer needs before they even know they need it. All right, let's move to our second point. What if you could create content at the speed of thought? That's basically what AI is doing for content creation. It's transforming it from this slow, manual process into a fast, efficient, and incredibly targeted operation. The impact here is just huge. Brands are using AI to generate countless variations of ad copy, optimize headlines for more clicks, and even produce first drafts of articles, all while keeping a consistent brand voice. This frees up your human creative teams to focus on the big picture strategy instead of the routine tasks. The third revolution is all about understanding the customer journey. We used to just guess how customers were interacting with us. AI gives us a kind of superpower, the ability to see the invisible patterns and pathways that actually lead to a sale. So here's why that's so critical. AI can pinpoint the exact moment of frustration that causes a customer to abandon their cart. But it's more than that. It can also uncover the surprising, winding paths that lead to a purchase, showing you brand new opportunities to optimize and refine the entire experience. Number 4 is all about how we talk to our customers. We've all been there, right? Stuck in a loop with a chatbot that can only answer 3 questions. Well, those days are over. We are now in the era of sophisticated AI assistants that can hold complex conversations and actually build brand affinity. Smart brands are no longer thinking of these interfaces as just a way to cut customer service costs. They're seeing them as a new frontier for building relationships, creating a consistent and memorable brand personality across every single interaction, whether that's text, voice, or even visual. And finally, the 5th and perhaps most powerful shift, predictive strategy. For decades, marketing has been a reactive game. We launch a campaign, we wait for the data, and then we adjust. Well, AI completely shatters that model. It turns marketing into a proactive, forward-looking function. Imagine knowing your customers are going to be interested in a specific color or style months before it becomes a mainstream trend. AI makes this possible by analyzing huge data sets to forecast these trends, identify untapped markets, and even predict potential risks to your brand's reputation before they happen. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? Let's look at a quick case study of a major retailer that put this new playbook into action. So this retailer was facing a nightmare scenario, declining foot traffic and getting crushed by online-only competitors. Instead of just tinkering around the edges, they went all in, deploying a comprehensive AI strategy across their entire operation. And the results. First, a 42% increase in how frequently customers visited their stores. That wasn't an accident. The AI-powered personalization was so effective it literally drove people off their couches and back into a physical retail environment. Second, a 28% jump in the average amount each customer spent. They understood individual needs, they made smarter recommendations, and they dramatically increased the value of each and every visit. But here's the most stunning metric of all. They achieved a 3.5 times improvement in customer lifetime value. That's not just a win, that's a grand slam. It's the ultimate goal of marketing, not just making one sale, but building lasting, profitable relationships. The proof is right there in the numbers. So, if AI is this powerful, why isn't every company seeing this kind of results? That brings us to a crucial reality: the implementation gap. This chart tells the story perfectly. On the left, you see strategic intent. That tall bar shows that almost every marketing leader says AI is a top priority. But look at the middle bar, effective use. It's much lower. And the bar on the right, the number of companies with mature, fully integrated programs, it's tiny. There's a huge gap between wanting to do AI and actually doing it well. This gap, however, isn't a barrier. It's an opportunity. For those of you willing to bridge it, the competitive advantage is enormous. So let's talk about how your AI journey can begin. And this is the key insight I really want you to take away. We get so focused on the technology, but the real challenges aren't technical. They're about getting your organization ready for change, having high-quality data to work with, and developing leaders who can think with an AI-first mindset. The age of AI in marketing is here. It's the ground beneath our feet. The brands that win tomorrow will be the ones that start building their capabilities today. So the only question left to ask is this: what is the first single step your brand can take to begin this transformation?